The following episode is brought to you by Poison City Brewing, proud makers of Durban Poison Cannabis Lager, the beer that invites you to live your poison.
Cool. So this is the first ever episode of Soda Underground done telephonically through a conference call. So we're giving this a shot to see how it goes. With us, it's our first artist over this. His name is Matthew. Matthew is an artist and singer, songwriter. And tell us a bit more about what you do beyond that and what your music is about.
Yeah, awesome, dude. Cool. So, as you said, I'm a singer, songwriter, and a bedroom producer. Basically, my main line of work at the moment is I work as a freelance singer, songwriter, and producer on the freelance platform Fiverr. I also write a lot of my own music naturally when I have the time at the moment. And I like to play around with a lot of different genres. So my first single, Messages of My Heart, which you can find on, all streaming platforms. It's kind of more like old pop with light rock influences to it. And then a single I'm releasing maybe in about a month's time is more like a Lewis Capaldi, like sad boy kind of vibe. But that's pretty much me.
That's fantastic. It's actually interesting that you mentioned that you work on Fiverr. You're probably one of the first artists that I've spoken to that we've had on Sludge Underground that predominantly works on the platform. How has that been going for you?
To be honest, it's been going like 100 times better than I thought it would. I kind of started more as a lull after watching a YouTube video to see if I would be able to make any money off of it, and just see where I'm at in terms of my skills. And I've been at it for about 6 to 7 months now, and it's really, really taken off nicely. That's my main line of work. I'm pretty much always busy, always writing and producing. So it's great, yeah.
Okay, fantastic. So, I've been following you on Instagram. I see you've managed to actually, for 6-7 months, you've managed to buy yourself a new MIDI keyboard, upgrade your studio and stuff like that. So, that's fantastic, man. It's actually really encouraging to see someone locally managing to make money through that side.
Yeah, for sure, dude. It's been really, really great. And when I started out on Fiverr, I was literally all of my MIDI work was through my normal desktop keyboard. I didn't have any reference monitors. I didn't have a proper headset. So everything was, just working with what I had, very minimal plugins, just the basic stock ones on Ableton. And I managed to soundproof my studio, basically to build a proper studio. It's been really, really great. It's been cool.
I also feel like with, being the first artist to be, on that platform, dude, I feel like a lot of people can learn a lot from what you do and what you've done. As you've just explained, you've seen the growth and whatnot. So if you had to sort of explain, how does this app actually work? How does this platform work? And how can someone sort of use it to their advantage to sort of, go about it the same way that you have in a way?
Yeah, for sure, dude. And I've actually had quite a few mates, ask me about getting on the platform. I actually even had a dude today ask me, because I think a lot of South Africans kind of struggle to make money off of their music, because of just the market in general. People don't have that much money to spend on stuff here in South Africa. So what I would say is obviously do a lot of research around your niche. If, say, you wanted to go, obviously you think about music, if you want to go into singing or songwriting or producing on it, what I always say to the people who come to me is first see what the best people on Fiverr are doing. So basically, for anyone who doesn't know what Fiverr is, it's basically just a freelance website where you can get pretty much anything done, from CGI to music to teach me how to play a game, right? And so find your niche, find the best people in your niche, and then have a look at what they're doing. You normally get 3 packages: it's the basic, standard, and premium. Have a look at what they're doing, right? See why people like them so much, see why they're popular, and then sort of try your best to emulate that in your own ways. Use them as a template, and make sure you've got a strong portfolio. What I'd recommend is Obviously, setting your prices a little bit lower than you'd initially want on the platform, just to get your first few buys and your first few reviews to shoot you up the list. And yeah, as long as you got a good portfolio, you're hardworking, you got the passion for it, and you use the successful people as a template, you can 100% start doing really well and almost make it your complete living. Yeah.
That's perfect, bro. And now just sort of looking outside of, Fiverr, the platform or not, you as a musician, you as an artist, how far back does that sort of stem? Where did this journey sort of start for you making music?
Yeah, awesome, dude. So basically I started writing songs probably at the age of 12. And yeah, I taught myself guitar. I started singing more in high school. I had an awkward experience in primary school where I got laughed at by my whole school. So I didn't really sing until high school again. So I started writing songs at around 12, 13, started messing around with recordings with Audacity and my gaming headset microphone. So that was funny. Had no clue how to do anything, but yeah, I guess I've just been working at my producing ever since then. I was also part of the band O Calamity for about a year. I left the band in August last year. That was a cool experience. Great guys, and it was just a cool experience working with a record label and working in a proper studio. That taught me a lot, and just being part of a band and performing with a band taught me a lot and gave me a lot of confidence. My music career up until then was mainly just playing at little talent shows here and there, with the songs I'd written. And so I've just been focusing on my own music more after leaving the band, and it sort of just led into me working on Fiverr and just going as a producer as an artist. Yeah.
That's perfect, bro. And with you sort of going into music and now just looking back at your career, you did mention there O Calamity and whatnot. And for you, what are some of the things that you wish you sort of knew, before getting into music, that you wish, you could go back right now and tell younger Matt, to sort of look out for in the future?
Yeah, if I could, I guess, teleport or time travel back to my 12-year-old self, I would probably tell him to work a lot harder at guitar. Just work a lot harder in general, take it a bit more seriously and just to trust yourself a bit more. I think too often we just doubt ourselves and we doubt our talents. Even going into Fiverr, I doubted myself completely. And now it's going really well. So yeah, basically just tell myself to work harder, tell myself to just, trust myself more and love my music more. You get what I'm saying?
Your story about starting with Audacity kills me, because I basically got an entire YouTube channel going using that one program. Everyone starts there when they start recording at first, and it's a hellscape trying to get that program to work for basically anything that's decent. So it's cool knowing that someone else has started on that as well.
Yeah, definitely, dude.
What would you say has been the most useful thing as an artist that you've learned in your time doing these sort of session works, you can call them?
To be honest, just getting your sound in terms of so I guess every producer sort of has their sound, if you get what I'm saying. Someone's like an artist has their drawing style, a producer has their production style, and you can see this in a lot of, the really big artists, when you can sort of tell who produced their song based on the way that it's done. And so I think it's just finding your style and being consistent in that, and that's not to say you got to replicate your mastering and mixing in every single song, but it's finding that sound, and more than anything else, being consistent in your work and just putting in the time. And I think when you have the passion for it, the time isn't even a factor. You can sit down for 8 hours and it won't be a thing.
Yeah, bro, and obviously with you as well, what I really want to try and get you is, as you said, the majority of the stuff that you're doing obviously is on Fiverr and stuff. And how do you sort of translate that to sort of having a fan base sort of in the South African music scene? Is there any sort of correlation between the two, or is sort of, trying to get a fan base, in your scene sort of like you have to, consist of something different? Or I don't know if like my question is coming through right, but like,
yeah, no, I get
yeah.
So it is pretty difficult because of how disjointed it is between Fiverr and the South African music industry. Because as you said it yourself, I'm like the first artist you've had on who does work on Fiverr, and the majority of my clients I work for are from the United States, Denmark, Sweden, Mexico, Italy, places like that, mainly the US. And so it's difficult to sort of then bring that back to South Africa and build a South African fan base. But, just in my own way, I've been connecting with a lot of the local artists, such as Threes and Sevens, Matthew from Threes and Sevens. I'm sure you guys know them. Indie Dog. I've gotten to know Kian pretty well from Indie Dog. I've actually got him into Fiverr as well. He's making some nice money through that as well. We've collabed on some Fiverr orders as well. It's really cool. So just trying to like bring what I'm learning and what I can offer into the South African local scene, with those local bands, and hoping to do collaborations with them, even if they might not be the same sort of music. So to sum up, there isn't that much of a correlation. It's a bit disjointed, but in my own ways, I'm trying to reach out to them and I guess offer what I'm offering to the clients overseas to them. Trying to build somewhat of a fan base. If I can help them out and they grow, then we as other artists grow with them. You get what I'm saying?
Makes a lot of sense, bro. Makes a lot of sense. And with, looking at sort of the end goal here, it is sort of a financial benefit to you being on the platform. But now what is sort of the end goal? Is there any sort of ultimate sort of, end goal that you want to achieve, through the platform?
Definitely. I mean, I'm basically at a point where, I could just straight up live off of Fiverr. I'm making a good enough living that I could, I guess, drop out of university and, live my own life off of it. But the end goal isn't, I guess, to just work on Fiverr. I would preferably like to, have my own music career, whether that be here in South Africa or whether that be overseas, But definitely the end goal is to just build up my own fan base off my own music, so to put more time into my own stuff while, using Fiverr to learn as much as possible. Because, I'm at one stage, I can write up to a song a day. I can write and fully produce a song a day. I'll start working at 7, I'll end at like 1 in the morning. And I'll just flat out produce, mix and master a song in a day. So it's getting that experience. Then ideally, I guess, getting recognized for my own stuff and, having my own music career and not just writing for everyone else.
Sweet, bro. So like now looking at that aspect that you were talking about there just now where you said, you could literally drop out of varsity. That's a really good point. So how do you sort of like, firstly, what are you studying at varsity, and sort of, what's the plan with that, going forward?
Yeah, cool. So I'm currently studying film and television a bit. So at the moment, that's sort of like a backup. Music and film are my two passions, but as I see it right now, if the music doesn't continue the way that it is, if it doesn't go anymore, then yeah, I guess film is the second option. Then the next option might be music videos or something like that. Just ideally still working in music, and if I don't make it in, my own field and what I'm doing as an individual artist, then I do still have Fiverr and perhaps even then starting to produce at a studio. Do you get what I'm saying? So if I don't make it as an artist, then I use the skills I've built on Fiverr and I can, work at a bigger studio or whatever. But yeah, I guess the cool thing about what I'm doing is there are quite a few options. I guess it's just a matter of making the wisest decision for myself.
With varsity, bro, there are a lot of like assignments that people need to do. There are a lot of deadlines and whatnot. How do you sort of, juggle that between, all the deadlines that you have and making music on Fiverr?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, it is super, super tight. So like I was speaking to my mom about it the other day, and she said to me, if you want something done, ask a busy person. And I guess it's exactly that. Like, I'm so busy that I'm like constantly working. You get what I'm saying? So I've just had to learn time management. So, I'll wake up at like 5:30 in the morning, head to university, have my day, get back at 5, pump out some work until supper, and work straight until, I guess 11, 12, 1 in the morning, and repeat that. And then on the days that I can get home a bit earlier, then you just graft a little bit harder with that,
Yeah.
So it's just constant work basically, but it's good, it's enjoyable, and as I said earlier, if you really doing what you love, then the time isn't that much of a factor. I've had a few times where I have burnt out and I've had to take a step back and almost switch my Fiverr profile to, like out of office or overly booked, just so I could cope with my uni assignments. But yeah, for the most part, it's just, just grounding from the morning to late at night,
Yo, that's very solid, bro. You really are a hard worker. We can really see that, through the things that you've been doing. So, one aspect now I want us to sort of jump into is this whole lockdown situation. Something people can relate to. We all pretty much screwed in this situation. So, what have you been getting up to? I think right now, it's Tuesday today. So, I think it's day 4 or 5 today?
I'm not sure.
Day 4 or 5, around there. So by the time people hear this, it's probably going to be a Friday. So we'll be like deep into this. But then, for you so far, how has this whole lockdown been for you?
So to be honest, and I know it might not be the most ideal time for like the majority of people in this country, it's been pretty good in the sense that I've really been able to focus on my work. I've literally basically just been chilling in my bedroom and producing. That's like pretty much all I've been doing, is just writing songs and producing. And for some weird reason, like the world goes into shutdown and everyone wants a song. So I've had like 10 orders in queue at a time. So it's pretty much all I've been doing is just chilling in my room, producing, writing, to the point where my family has spoken to me, and said, you never come out of your room, like, do you think that's okay? But yeah, so not much has changed. I've just got a little bit more time to, do my stuff. But I have seen how it's affecting, the local guys in this country who are really grafting at it, and they put in a lot of the time, such as, the guys that I know, Indie Dog, Up Your Sleeve, 3s and 7s, and I know, they've had to cancel gigs and they've, taken a bit of a hit. So I think it's a really interesting time for music in South Africa. As I've said personally, I'm not at the stage yet where I am gigging as a personal artist. I'm more just working on the Fiverr stuff. The goal is to build up to that point. But yeah, for me personally, I'm normally just in my room writing, producing, whatever. So not much has changed on my side, but, I have seen like some of the ramifications for, the local scene.
And for you, bro, like when you first heard the news, when our president came onto our TVs and he was like, listen, guys, it's going to be a 21-day lockdown, what was sort of your reaction?
I mean, I guess, the sort of seriousness of the situation kind of, sunk in, because beforehand, we're just hearing about like Italy and China and whatever, and so the fact that it hit so close to home, and we actually had this whole 3-week lockdown, it's kind of felt like something about from a post-apocalyptic movie. You know what I'm saying? And so I know, it's obviously always a bit scary. But, I think our country's handling it pretty well so far, and I think we can be proud of our government for the way that they're dealing with the situation and the way they've, sort of been preventing, the spread as best as they can. But yeah, personally it was obviously a bit scary. And, I was obviously wondering if, because this world's going through the pandemic, is my work going to slow down? What's going to happen? So yeah, dude, I think, everyone's just had a bit of a hit to certain aspects of their personal lives.
I agree with you 100% on the seriousness of the situation and, being proud of our government for handling this. But also on the meme side of all of this is when you were told that you're not allowed to leave as a producer, when was the last time you'd actually stepped foot outdoors?
Is that like a legit question, or are you just quoting the
meme? I don't know. It could be both at this point.
I mean, The only time I really leave is to see my girlfriend. So probably a few days before. But other than that, it's in my room, producing.
Yeah, and going forward with this lockdown thing, bro, what are plans? Is it just going to be basically just, working basically off of Fiverr for the rest of it? Or are you actually going to, I don't know, improvise, do something? Like, what's happening? Just let us know.
Yeah, so as I said, early in the interview, this pandemic hits and everyone wants a song apparently. And funny enough, I've got 2 or 3 orders currently to write a song about the coronavirus. Oh. So that's pretty interesting. But I am also using the time, and I've spent today actually just working on my new single. So it's granted me that time to work on, more of my own stuff. And I'm actually at the stage where by the end of today I'll be ready to send it off for mastering. I always do a master of my own, but this time I'll give a bit of a shout out to Tom's Mixing. He's situated in Durban. I think you guys follow him. He's a really cool guy. So yeah,
is this Thomas Wisterman?
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Oh, fantastic! Fantastic engineer.
Yeah. So I'm sending the song off for this single to him to get it mastered. So I'm super keen for that. So yeah.
So is this the single that you said is going to be about the coronavirus, or is this sort of
your thing? My single's just like a normal song. It's a sad boy song. It's basically dealing with 2 people who really love each other. However, due to differences in their life, they can't be together at the moment. But it's still kind of just about holding on to the hope that things will work out and just trusting that it will happen.
Would you say that this is sort of the vibe that we can get from your music in general, or is it sort of just a situational sort of thing?
So it is a situational sort of thing. My last single, Messages on My Heart, kind of dealt with love in a different way. That dealt with love in the sense that so just out of my own personal experiences, due to issues with myself, I've let people down in the past, and it's kind of just about mental illness's role in a relationship and how that can hurt someone, against your will, and how, you feel as though they should distance themselves from you. And then this one is obviously dealing about, with not being able to be with them for other reasons. But I am also experimenting with some 80s vibes, some synthwave stuff, kind of Blinding Light vibe, which will have a completely different vibe to it. And then I'm definitely also working on some stuff around mental illness and just world issues as well, so yeah.
That's very beautiful, bro. And with your new single, the one that you sent off for mastering, give us some dates, bro. When can we expect it to sort of be released?
Yeah, cool. So obviously going to shoot it through to Tom, and then whenever I get it back, I'll set the release date for about a month from then. So maybe a month and a half away or so, because obviously you've got to give it some time for Spotify to perhaps add it to some playlists or whatever. So yeah, probably a month to a month and a half away, I guess, is the goal.
That's beautiful, bro. Marcel?
Yeah, no, that's everything from my side.
Sweet, bro. So, yo, Matt, dude, listen, thank you so much for being a part of this, man. Really appreciate it. As I said, it is our first time doing something like this, so I really apologize for any of the mess-ups that we experienced.
But thanks so much. It was an absolute pleasure. I actually had a lot of fun doing this, man. So, yeah, thanks so much.
Sweet, bro. So where can people sort of get in touch with you, online and whatnot?
Yeah, cool. So either on my Instagram at Matty Songs, or Facebook at Matty Songs. That's kind of my social media presence. But otherwise, if you want a song written, produced, sung, or whatever, you can head to Fiverr. You can just write, sing, and produce a song, and you'll see me over there, and you can contact me that way. But yeah.
Sweet, that's perfect, bro. And obviously, guys, this episode is going to go up on our SoundCloud. On SoundCloud, we are Sledge Underground Podcast. On iTunes, we are Sledge Underground Podcast. Please go give us a review. And yeah, guys, Facebook, we are Sledge Underground. Instagram, it's at Sledge Underground. And Twitter, at Sledge031. Marcel, who are you online?
You can find me on Twitter as Marcel Smith. On Instagram, it's Storms with Sludge. You can also find me up on YouTube. There's something pretty cool going up in there. Also, Marcel Smith. And Facebook, Marcel Smart. So it's pretty much everywhere.
Oh, yeah, that's epic. Listen, Matt, bro, we have a tradition here. We have to close out with one of your tracks. If you'd grant us the opportunity to do so. So please just let us know which track it is we should play out with and sort of why that track.
Yeah, sweet. So at the moment, I've only got one single out because I only started my solo stuff recently. So it's called Messages of My Heart. Yeah, as I said, you can find it on Spotify, iTunes, wherever. That track actually meant a lot to me. I started that probably around a year before I sort of started reworking it by myself to get to the point where it is. It initially started out as more of like a rock track, which I turned into kind of like a old pop kind of vibe. But put a lot of work, a lot of love into that. It's really personal to me, speaks into a lot of the feelings I've gone through in my own life and in my own experiences within relationships. So yeah.
Sweet, bro. Thank you so much once again. Guys, please enjoy the track. It's Messages of My Heart by Matt. Catch us again, sludging around everywhere. Zwane031 is my handle. Guys, until next time, stay safe during the outbreak and stay indoors. It's cheers for now.
Hey, love, I'm sorry that I've gone. Feels like the 100th time I'm fucking this all up. Bye, love, feels like all that I know. I'm crawling in this hole. Oh God, what have I done? 'Cause I will take the air out of your mouth. And I will fill your gaping lungs with doubt. These are the messages of my heart. And these are the things I wish I did not start. 'Cause I will pull you further down this hole. So darling, leave and save your precious soul. I know I've drawn each scar across your fragile heart. I wish we could restart. No, love, I never meant you harm. My mind just feels so numb, and now you're moving on. And I will take the air out of your mouth. And I will fill your gaping lungs with doubt. These are the messages of my heart. I did not start. 'Cause I will pull you further down this hole. So darling, leave and save your precious soul. These are the messages of my heart. And these are the things I wish I did not start. 'Cause I will pull you further down this hole. So darling, leave and save your precious soul. Yeah, yeah. These are the messages of my heart. I did not start, so save your precious soul.